I personally think lasers are going to be huge on planet Earth. They're currently being used by every upper echelon of every field of medicine. You name the discipline in the medical industry and they are heavily invested in laser research. So it stands to reason that eventually, why shouldn't lay people and the rest of us also make use and benefit of lasers or light? Really what we're talking about here is light, using the physics and principle of light to help us in caring for and maintaining our bodies. And so when I set out to make a laser, I wanted to figure out how within the laser we could also induce the dissolution, the still point of that cell memory. That to me is the key. See, still point dissolves cell memory. When we made the laser, to me, as I do with everything, the main thing I'm checking is what's the effect on my field? That's when I said, great, this is what I want to make. And then we built a small laser with that variable. So many people in our society right now are using an operating system around health that basically goes like this. It says the body's no good. If you have a problem, you got to go to an expert. And the expert's going to give you something because the body's no good. That's what's going on in people's perception about their body. And then guess what happens? Exactly what's going on in their perception. So I always suggest to people at our seminars, go home or do it right now. Just delete it. I'm not the healer. The individual I'm working with is the healer. They're the ones that are regenerating their lives constantly. But the one key difference with our laser is that our laser uses multiple wavelengths. Most laser companies use red, and then the next batch use infrared, which are very different wavelengths. Red is good from my standpoint on surface cells. Red does not go in as far as infrared, so they're great for skin, soft tissue, muscle, nerve, meridians. Infrared lasers are also good. The length of the wave makes them not visible. Infrareds go much further into the body. To me, they're much more effective for bone, tendon, cartilage, disc. Studies show infrared lasers increase bone density. We also use violet lasers. Most companies do not use violet lasers because violet laser diodes are very expensive. As a result of that, companies don't use them. To me, they're fantastic because they do a very unique thing. Violet light holds way more information than red or infrared. So our company, we use red, we use infrared, and we use violet. Again, most lasers talk about they're building cells, they're regenerating cells, and that's great. Our lasers do that also. All light, all coherent light helps to regenerate cells. The second really unique component that lasers do, laser light holds and processes information. It's one of the reasons I'm very drawn to laser light. Our whole information age is based on physics of light. Light is the medium for moving information. In fact, they mapped out the human genome using violet lasers because violet lasers can read information in a very nonlinear and intricate kind of fashion. Most companies, when they send the light, they do a very simple analog square wave. They send the frequency by turning the light on and off. That's it. What we do is we have a processor in there, and we're actually first creating these nice rounded sine waves, but then we're taking lots of different waves and using very subtle, refined information within the light to induce the body to relax, dissolve, neutralize, and ultimately to optimize to its natural, organized, coherent state. So we're using lasers not just to regenerate cells, but also to induce information so the body can start to come back online. We think of waves as going somewhere. So a wave goes like this. It's moving, sort of like that line I showed you a moment ago. A wave is moving like this from one point to another. A scalar wave is a wave that's non-directional. It's not moving anywhere. It's more of a field because it's not going anywhere. It's not linear. There's nowhere to go. This energy is the same thing that yogis, what they call prana or chi or universal energy. It's the non-linear energy. We're only talking about two things, linear and non-linear. That's it. And there's lots of names for it and all that, and that's all fine. But in terms of what we're dealing with, the words are only just a brief kind of tip of the iceberg to try to give us a reference for how we can begin to use the experience. Of course, the main part of the laser is what we call the scalar laser, the main unit. This particular part has the battery system in there. It has the LCD screen, the touchpad key panel. All the lasers come out. It's a portable system. It's rechargeable, battery rechargeable. You see all the cells in that area are being lit up. This system is primarily 5 milliwatt laser diodes. There's a whole bunch of laser diodes. They're all low-powered laser diodes. This is the most popular probe in our network because it's the most versatile. This is a 100 milliwatt laser. You see, it's pretty powerful. I mean, if you put that over an area, you can see all the cells in that area are being lit up right now. They're all being bathed in photon-rich energy. The benefit to a probe is that a probe is much more concentrated. So if you're dealing with major stuff, this is the most versatile one. This is the probe that works on lots of different things. So this is the infrared probe. Works really good on bone, tendon, cartilage, and disc. This laser energy sends it much further into the body than the other probes. You can't really see the infrared laser. It's a non-visible, but it's a strong white beam. If you took a picture of this, you'd see a beam that shot right out. Some cameras will pick it up. It goes much further into the body. So this is really designed for deeper seated stuff. After I use the red one, I'd use the infrared. And the infrared is great for getting further up into the bone. I had infection up above the tooth. This is what helped me clean up that infection. Lastly is the violet probe. For me, I mostly use the violet laser. The reason the violet works so good is because it's non-linear. It organizes things. It's not linear, so it's not about surface or depth. It's about coherence and dimensional integration.